Samwins rock. Yeah! Good evening, it's Adam and Talia here with another quick instant movie review for you. So tonight we caught Dune Part 2. What is this all about, Talia?
So this is a continuation of Dune Part 1, and we basically see Paul Atreides basically coming to terms with his new life of being placed with the Fremen people as he comes to terms with what he could be and his whole prophecies that he's supposed to fulfill in the minds of some of the Fremen people.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's basically the plot of this film.
So whereas the first film he was very afraid of his fate, this one he is fully embracing it.
Fully embracing it. He's full on into it. He's like...
Yep, and he has his whole world of disciples behind him, led by Javier Bardem, who is preaching the word of Paul Atreides. Hallelujah. He's like a little desert mouse.
Always ready to support.
Always ready to support. So this is great. Of course, you've got Josh Brolin back in this one. Florence Pugh is in it. Christopher Walken is in this as well. So it's huge. Rebecca Ferguson, huge, Zendaya, and of course, and Timothée Chalamet. Really harnessing their energy here, and it is very much a Chalamet show, I would believe to say, because he is pretty much front and center in this film, and he does a really great job. He is fantastic. But I think the visuals speak more than anything else here. I think the visuals that Denis Villeneuve has put together to, I guess you're looking at it in less than 3 hours. He's shown you not only this amazing scope of battle and everything, but he's also giving you how these guys harness water. He's showing you how they transport themselves around the thing. You've got the full lore of everything, and it's all basically incorporated in this less than 3 hour epic, and it looks amazing.
It feels epic.
It feels huge.
It feels huge.
Don't go watching this on a laptop.
Yeah. VMAX was such an incredible experience.
You've got to see it in the biggest screen possible because it's huge. It's like looking at a gorgeous painting.
Yeah.
And at some stages you kind of just want the shot to sit for even longer because it looks so amazing. Greg Fraser, who obviously was the DOP on this, he did the original Dune. He also shot the Batman, the creator, Australian DOP, has got the most amazing eye to detail, the forced focus, just bringing everything into the frame, even if it's ages away, and making it all feel so present. It's just beautiful.
His use of movement and colour on screen is really interesting too. There are some wide shots that he does which are incredible. There's one in particular I'm thinking of which is just amazing in the way that they use movement and flow and colour to communicate so much of what the characters have become in amongst everything, like what Paul Atreides has become due to his actions. Like you can see it in the way that the shot is framed, in the way that he moves through the scene. It's just beautiful. It's beautifully shot.
It is beautiful.
And it is beautifully acted. Every single performance in this film is just...
It's great. It is.
A star.
And Hans Zimmer will make your seat vibrate with his horns. Everything feels like an epic anthem in this film. Every time that someone just goes... If you're walking to the toilet, I think you'd hear the horns go and booming, and your ears would be like, what's going on right now? Everything about this film is big.
It's big.
I think it was interesting tonight because you had a friend who was there who hadn't seen the first film. I sort of feel like an imperative for the journey of Paul Atreides to really see where he came from in order to understand his lineage to where he is.
Yeah.
But you learn a lot more about the lore of everything in this film, so you probably don't need to see it from a lore point of view.
It's interesting to see his development from this person who's he's worried to take what he thinks he's destined for. It's interesting to see from part 1 to part 2 how his views and development changed based off the events in part 1. So I think if you are going to see this film and you haven't seen the first one, maybe consider it, because it's just interesting to have the background and get to know these characters in more depth.
I concur.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
To understand their actions and understand why they do the things they do.
Yes,
I guess.
absolutely. Austin Butler, we need to talk about this man. He needs a tan.
And he needs a psychologist.
And he needs,
psychiatrist, make that a psychiatrist.
And he needs some decent dental work because
therapy too.
He is a mad, crazy bloke.
And he plays it well.
He's a psychopath, and look, there's a lot of scenes in this that are very cool for Austin Butler, and he does have his scowl on, and it is a dead-faced scowl, and he wears it very well. He is a formative villain, and you know, the I guess there's really only one scene that he has with Timothy Chalamet, but it is a very good scene.
It is an effective enough scene.
So yeah, it's great. I think everyone in this film is fantastic. Yeah, is Florence Pugh a little bit underused potentially, you know, but you know, how much of that storyline do we need to keep propelling things forward? They kind of, a few characters do get in, say what they need to say, and then get out. There's not a lot of hanging around time here because we need to get back to Chalamet, his story, to get to his place of where he needs to have his arc realised.
I suppose it's very similar in the book. You know, in the book when you know you have to have a certain character say a certain thing in order for the main character to understand where they're sitting at.
Correct.
Like, you know, it's not really something that, like, a lot of the time you dwell on them. You're like, I guess they're like gone now. I guess we're gonna focus back on this person.
That's right. That's right. But, you know, overall, you know, if you're here for the visuals, you're here for the second part of the story, the progression of the story, great performances, amazing visuals, fantastic sound. Honestly, there's nothing really I could pick in this film.
There's a couple little things that you could go, oh, maybe that's slightly off. But there's nothing that makes you go, this is a bad film.
No.
Or this is a film that isn't deserving of good reviews. Because it's literally every single scene is in some way good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
So, Dune Part 2... what would you give it?
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It's a 9 out of 10.
I loved it so much.
Yeah, this is a 9.
This is a 9.
A very, very solid 9. Great. So see Dune Part 2, but I would see Dune first.
I would too.
Yeah. Anyway, that is my review and your review of Dune. Yay! Sandworms rock!
Yeah!
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.